What's going on, guys? Austin here, and in this video, we are going to be taking a look at the extra points, week 7, 5-minute fantasy, the booming and the busting wide receivers. So, my boom of the week and a player that you should all be looking to pick up moving forward is Alec Pierce for the Indianapolis Colts against the Tennessee Titans. Alec Pierce was a middle to high round draft pick in this last year's draft. He is a true deep threat, very, very similar to Michael Pittman in that same regard. But on the other side, I mean, Michael Pittman's going to be getting the CB1 for most weeks. And while, Tennessee doesn't really have great secondary play, I think Alec Pierce should be able to just dominate this game, especially the way that Matt Ryan likes to throw the ball 40 plus times a game. Romeo Doubs against Washington. I think at this point we're too far into the season to say that Allen Lazard isn't the clear wide receiver one. But in my opinion, I think Romeo Doubs is the clear number 2, and I think he might be coming for that wide receiver 1 spot by the end of the season. Now, against the Washington Commanders, they don't have a secondary, and their pass rush just hasn't been there this year. And so as long as it hasn't been there, I'm going to keep fading them. Look for Romeo Doubs to have a great game. T. Higgins versus Atlanta. He's been a good option on several weeks, and then he's been a bad option other weeks. It's really hard to figure out how well he's going to play, but against Atlanta, I like the matchup of A.J. Terrell coming over to the side of Ja'Marr Chase. Now, Ja'Marr Chase is still going to have a good game because A.J. Terrell is not the guy he was last year. But for that reason, I think T. Higgins is going to get better opportunities against a team who is going to be able to keep the game close. So I think that the Bengals are going to need to throw the ball more than you would normally think. Then George Pickens against Miami. Now, if Kenny Pickett plays, this is definitely the play right here. If not, I'd be a little nervous and take a look at some of the other players that we might have on our teams. But against Miami has 2 okay cornerbacks, and so I wouldn't be surprised if that goes to Chase Claypool and Deontay Johnson, leaving George Pickens incredibly unguarded. And George Pickens is the favored target of Kenny Pickett. That's what we knew all throughout training camp, so that's what we should be looking at right here. Now, Donovan Peoples-Jones against Baltimore. Baltimore has a horrendous pass defense and a bad defense all around. We saw that we were starting Jacoby Brissett earlier. And so for the same reason, Donovan Peoples-Jones, the deep ball in Baltimore has just been alive and well and healthy. So look for Donovan Peoples-Jones, DPJ, to have a great week. If you've got a lot of wide receivers on a bye and you're throwing out a Hail Mary, for lack of a better term, come out and grab Donovan Peoples-Jones. Now, the bust this week, I do not like Keenan Allen against Seattle. He's been coming off of a soft injury, and if he comes back in this game, Seattle has arguably the best cornerback in the league right now in Tariq Woolen, if not, the best rookie at least. There's a few players on the Chargers that I think Justin Herbert's going to be fine and comfortable going to. One thing that Justin Herbert hasn't shown a great ability to do is get the ball to covered receivers well. He's not in that same Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers category of just like, oh, I'm just going to fit this ball into that crazy window. He has a high ceiling and a middle floor. It's not too low, but it's not a high floor like some of those other guys were. And so Keenan Allen, this matchup, I don't like. Drake London against Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati has an excellent pass defense, and I think that Atlanta is going to have to just kind of like make stuff up to get yards, and so it's going to be a lot of Marcus Mariota rushing, running back dump-offs. This might be a good game to think about starting Kyle Pitts again, but Drake London, the matchup's just not there. Juju Smith-Schuster at San Francisco. Now, San Francisco, they've got all the players on defense that you'd want. They're one of the best defenses in the entire league. They've played a couple of soft offenses so far, but still look for them to be taking out Juju from this game. Davante Adams at Houston. Now this one's a definite Hail Mary on my part. This one for me is a big boom, big bust type of option where if you sit Davante Adams, he could easily go off for 27 and I'd look like an idiot. But at the same time, I expect Davante Adams to have less than 16 points in this game. So if you are needing, like a guaranteed, high floor, I need 10 points to win this week. That's all I need. Davante Adams is a good spot. But if it's like, okay, I need 30 points from my wide receiver position, I don't think Davante Adams has a chance to get that this week. Not with Jalen Petrie out there, not with Jonathan Owens out there, and not with Derek Stingley Jr. out there. Look at one of these guys on the other side. Look at an Alec Pierce. Look at a DPJ. I think they have a higher upside this week than Davante Adams does. And then Robert Woods versus Indianapolis. Indianapolis's defense has slowly been coming along, and the Tennessee offense just hasn't been there. I know Robert Woods, we'd think, is a good enough option right there. I really wish that LA hadn't have gotten rid of him, because I think he'd be a better option right now there than Allen Robinson would be. But neither here nor there. Robert Woods in Tennessee, it's not a good fit, and going up against Indianapolis is especially not a good fit. All right, guys, thanks for watching that video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and stay up to date on all of our future content.